So hey what's up guys, Robox here and welcome back to some F1 gameplay, and here we are for some F1 2019 modded career mode. So we're here for the start of a brand new season of career mode. I know what you're thinking, we're thinking that, you know, we've just done a new season of career mode. Well, I've decided to switch it over to the 2019 season mod. So what I've done there is a fantasy season mod, a fantasy 2019 career mode season mod, which I've put a link in the description to, and then there is a mod which adds the 2019 lineup to the game as well, so an F1 2019 mod, but that doesn't have new liveries, stuff like that. So I've sort of combined the mod, so they've got the 2019 lineup with these fantasy car liveries and stuff, so that is pretty cool. And you see we've got a slightly different HUD which is going to look pretty cool as well. So if we get in here, take a look at our R&D. We are here with Force India, so this should make for a pretty interesting season. I've already done qualifying, and from that I can tell you that the handling of this car, wow, it is I'm used to a Red Bull and a developed McLaren, and yeah, it's a lot of understeer in this car, so we're going to have to improve it. So I decided to go in and do this front downforce major upgrade, which we should get in a few races time, and then I started this chassis development as well, because if we look over here, our power unit is good for now, so we're going to save that. I'm not generally going to do the practice sessions, I only do it if I need to boost our R&D points, but I am going to do qualifying in the next episode, so hopefully you guys look forward to qualifying. But for now, anyway, let's get straight into the race. But actually, before we do that, I want to talk about the standings, so we can take a look at the lineup. You can see, there we go, Force India in this fantasy mod's been changed to Racing Point. But anyway, you can see the driver lineup on the left. You can see we've got Leclerc in the Ferrari, Gasly, Verstappen at Red Bull, we got Ricciardo at Renault, all that sort of good stuff. So anyway, let's get straight into the first round, which is going to be the Australian Grand Prix. Right then, here we are on the grid, and you can see we're going to have a pretty tough race. I forgot to mention at the start of this video, there is actually a wet race, so it's starting in sort of light rain, intermediate conditions, and then it looks like it's going to dry up towards the end. So I mean, I've had to do the setup as a wet one, so we'll just have to wait and see how we get on. I mean, the weather's going to be a bit unpredictable, but let's get straight into this race. Right, here we go then, here at the start of this Grand Prix, waiting for the lights to go out on the grid, and we're away. And this has been such a slow start then. The rear just keeps on stepping out on us. We've been overtaken by loads of cars behind him. Why is Leclerc all the way down here? He must have had a penalty or something from qualifying, and we're side by side with our teammate, both of us just outside of the points then here today. Let's see if we can catch up to this pack. I mean, everyone should be backing up now. We're going to try and come underneath the Ferrari there of Leclerc, and we're up the inside of our teammate, but the rear just, my god, it's so difficult in the wet on this game. But we've made our way up past our teammate, which is good, and everyone's going really slow, being really cautious around here. Right, trying to get up the inside of Leclerc. He's on our outside, give him room, and we are through. And there we go. Next up, it's Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. Nice to see him in a new car other than the Red Bull. And look at everyone. There's everyone being caught, slowed down behind someone. Looks like someone up the road has an issue. And this has been the world's slowest start I've ever seen to an F1 2018 race. So, coming through the chicane, a bit wide there. It is so slow out on track today. The pace is really bad. We are currently sitting in the last points paying position, and we're being pretty cautious ourselves. There's Leclerc coming around our outside, who he's going to try. It's not going to work for him there as we run wide. Oh, there's yellow flags out for something, and it's been a really strange start to this race. Everyone's going really slow. Hopefully now we've got the first lap out the way, we can start to push on. Right, got it in standard mix. Sort of saving some fuel, I think, towards the end, where we might be able to go full pout on some dry tyres, hopefully. But I'm going to stick to no stops until it goes to dry conditions. Obviously, we'll need to pit then, but that's the plan. I'm not going to do 2 stints on this on these intermediate tyres, only if I have to, only if they go off really really bad, but the tyre wear shouldn't be too bad around here, and starting to lose touch with Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. Let's see if we can reel him back in. Here we go, got Charles Leclerc trying to come up our inside, and he's not been able to make it stick. We've managed to hold on to 10th place for now. I can't really afford to let him through. He's going to be quick in that Ferrari, but it's not the Ferrari debut he's really going to be wanting to be having, considering his teammate is out front setting fastest lap after fastest lap, a 1:27 there for Sebastian Vettel in the other Ferrari. Putting in overtake mode to try and defend for the Ferrari. Here he comes, he's going to try around the outside. We're not going to make it easy for him, especially if we go wide like that. Oh, how are we still ahead? So as you can see, as we end lap number 3, start lap number 4, we still got Leclerc right behind us, and we got Daniel Ricciardo still up ahead, starting to reel him back in again, and he's stuck behind Carlos Sainz and one of the Haas cars, which seems to be holding these two up. So we can say thank you to Grosjean there in the Haas, who's doing a good job at holding them up. I have to admit, I'm struggling in this Force India round here in the wet. Difficult to get any sort of pace around the corners. Here comes Charles Leclerc trying it around the outside. Oh, it's not going to work. He's going to try stick it there. I'm going to have to give him room on the inside, which is going to compromise us, but we are through. He must have backed out of that one. Thought better of it. He should just let us catch back up to this pack up ahead. Now he's going to have to sit behind us again and wait for us to close down that gap. Oh, Charles Leclerc again coming around the outside. He keeps going for that outside line, and he catches me off guard every single time. Just don't expect to see him there as I start to take my line round the corner, and it looks like the pack up ahead is catching the next pack. So something is going on. Someone's holding up all these guys, and without the use of the DRS, it's proving very difficult for anyone to pass anyone at the minute. Here comes Leclerc up the inside this time. He tried it around the outside this corner on the last lap. He's really sizing me up and trying to get past, but it's Gasly in the Red Bull Honda holding everyone up. So we're going to be on a dry track, and here comes Charles Leclerc charging up the inside. He's being very impatient, and it's proving very difficult for him. And we have slowed down the pace a little bit, but if he keeps trying to do that, then it's going to slow him up even more. And there's not much we can really do about it right now, because we are stuck behind the pack up ahead, losing downforce of course, because we're sat in their dirty air, no DRS to try and counteract it either. So it's just one of them, and here we go, coming to the chicane. We're going to have to take it very easy through here, because they're going to be quite slow. Here comes Charles Leclerc again. Going to go for some overtake mode. Should defend off from him pretty nicely. Everyone's stuck behind Gasly. Vettel with another fastest lap of the race is starting to speed up the track, but not feeling it as I'm out wide. Oh, that's horrible. Leclerc again round the outside. We slot back in behind Daniel Ricciardo. Just waiting for this rain to come to an end now. Here comes Charles Leclerc. He's going to go for something up the inside here if we're not careful. We lock up. Gasly's out wide. Ricciardo's hit Gasly. Oh, this isn't good for Ricciardo. Oh, he's cut back in front of us. Here we go. We're going to go for the move up the inside. Gasly is going slow. We're going to go up the inside of both of them here. There we go. Up into P8 there, which has helped us out. And now we're not under pressure from... what was his name? Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari behind. He's now got Ricciardo to deal with, so we can now start to relax, stretch our legs, and try and go with Carlos Sainz up ahead. Right, you can see Renault of Carlos Sainz, oh no, Hülkenberg, has come into the pit. So is he going for dry tyres already? I mean, it stopped raining. I'm thinking one more lap, and then we should be good to go on some dry tyres. Here we go. We're going up the inside of Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. We run out wide there, miss the apex, but we are through on the new McLaren driver making his debut for McLaren. What we're going to do, we're going to pit. Oh no, I'm going to stay out. It's still a bit slippy. I'm going to wait and see what the AI do. They are good markers to see what's going to happen. You can see everyone else has stayed out. I've still got an overtake mode. I want to stay ahead of Carlos Sainz. We are all over the back of Romain Grosjean now in that Haas. Let's see if we can ride on board and try and get past him, but we're just tiptoeing. The tyres are starting to go off here, which isn't what we need. They're starting to get really worn. I've got it in rich mix. I mean, what can we do to get past Romain Grosjean here? I'm not too sure really, other than putting it into overtake mode. And we're going to have to be careful for Carlos Sainz behind us. Grosjean's going pretty slow through there. We should be able to catch up a little bit through there, which we can. Pick up his slipstream. And it looks like Leclerc's caught up to the back of Carlos Sainz now. Which means he's going to clear the McLaren. Once he does that, he's going to be coming after us. So we need to try and clear Romain Grosjean. Put as many cars in between me and Leclerc as possible. On the brakes. Bit of an orthodox line, but we've managed to get through. And now we've got some clear air. No one else seems to be pitting yet, so I don't want to pit too early. I'm just going to keep using up some fuel, use up some ERS, and then eventually we will get round to pitting. So I've got some bad news. Leclerc is now clear, and he is right behind us and going to be challenging us for this last top 5 position. So we're going to have to push on. Hopefully the dry tyres, when they come eventually, get a little bit corner cut there. That's not what I want. But hopefully once we get on the dry tyres, we can start to extend out the lead over Leclerc. But it's going to be very tough because that Ferrari is very quick, especially with Leclerc at the wheel. I mean, he hasn't made a fantastic debut here. He's been quite bad at overtaking, and he got himself stuck. But if he gets some points for Ferrari, some decent points rather than just like P10 or something, then that'd be good. But we've made a massive mistake there, probably me talking, and that's cost us the bit of a buffer that we had to Leclerc. So we're going to have to start to think about defending from him. Here is Charles Leclerc right behind us. We should be okay. We've got some overtake mode. I've braked a little bit early actually. Very cautious on the brakes through there. That's going to cost us time, but at least we've managed to keep him behind, and it's going to be all about keeping him behind now. Luckily we've got a Mercedes engine strapped to the back of our Force India, so we can really use that power to try and keep ahead of the Ferrari driver. Oh, we ran deep there. That has cost us the run onto this straight, and here's Charles Leclerc right behind us. Come on, overtake mode again to try and keep him at bay. The tyres are really starting to go now, and there he is, that Ferrari breathing down our neck. He's going to go to the outside again, one of his favourite manoeuvres in this Grand Prix on us so far. Are we going to pit ever in this race with some dry tyres? I don't think we will. But look at our tyres. They are well past their life. Oh, we should probably get it into overtake mode to try and defend. Put some rich mix on as well. Into turn 1. Bit of compromise there as we're trying to hold our line and defend. Get the power down though. What happened to Leclerc there? Did he completely back out of it, or what happened to him? Here we go. We're coming up to the final lap. Trying to pull the car around the penultimate corner and then drag it around the final corner. The tyres are so shot here at Australia. Take a look at that rear tyre wear. That is horrendous. But it doesn't help that the track has really dried up because it stopped raining, and we've got Charles Leclerc who's going to try and challenge us on this lap. Come on, we want to keep this place. Here comes Leclerc. I'm going to go to the inside. He's going to go to the outside again. His favourite move. I'm going to leave it in hot lap mode on this lap. Come on, give him room on the outside. Put the power down. Our tyres feel so bad, but we've just about kept Leclerc at bay, and we've only got the rest of this lap to go. Got it in overtake mode, not overtake mode, hot lap mode. So this should really help us. I've got overtake mode if I need to defend. Luckily, he hasn't had the DRS to use Leclerc, he's right behind us in that Ferrari. It's his debut. This is going to show whether he's probably worthy of the Ferrari drive or maybe just his inexperience. Is he going to be able to overtake us? Come on, through the chicane nicely, struggling so hard to try and bring the car around the corners. We gave a little bit of a gap there, and now we can start to try and just build on getting around these final few corners. Hit our apexes. Oh, we're understeering so bad. So the DRS has been enabled now. You can really feel the track has switched to dry conditions. Oh no, here we go. It's going to be a run to the line with Charles Leclerc. Overtake mode, hot lap mode. I'm holding this line. Oh, he's going to try around the outside. Did he manage to take 5th place from us there on the final run? No, he wasn't able to, unfortunately for him. But there we go. We've held on to 5th place. What a race there. I thought we were going to get the opportunity to go onto dry tyres, but it just wasn't today, unfortunately. But you can see Sebastian Vettel took the win for Ferrari, and Ferrari 1st and 6th place. They'll be pretty pleased with that, but they'd have wanted more from Charles Leclerc. He did get compromised at the start and had a lot of traffic to get by. He got stuck behind us for absolutely ages, so that really did cost him the race, to be honest. But you can see 1 Red Bull, 1 Mercedes and 1 Ferrari on the podium today. Right then, so taking a look at the results, you can see Sebastian Vettel did take the win, as we've already seen, and the podium, which we saw in that little replay there. And Kevin Magnussen took 4th place, best of the rest for the Haas. That is a good result for them, really. But you can see, disappointing for Leclerc. I mean, he did start in 12th place. They must have had a penalty or something like that. But Kimi Raikkonen getting 1 point for Sauber. Wow, that is good to see there from the Sauber team. Where is his teammate Giovinazzi? 15th. Okay, so Kimi Raikkonen showing his experience there. And unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo and Robert Kubica down in the last 2 positions. So there we have it. Take a look at the standings then. It should be pretty much the same. But you can see we are 5th in the Constructors. That's not too bad. We're ahead of McLaren. Only 5 points behind Mercedes. So, this could be for an interesting season. A bit of a jumbled up first race in terms of everyone's grid positions and final finishing positions. So, let's see what happens in the next race, which will be Bahrain. But anyway, let's get into this interview. What we've got to do. Car's nimble, light, and it was a breeze. The chassis team are going to love that. Just go for that. There we go. Rep increase. Sportsmanship increase. There we go. So we've done our first interview for the Force India team and our first race in the bag with P5. A very solid result there. So I'm going to end off the episode here. If you are excited for the rest of this series, then do let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more MotoGP and F1 gaming content. And for now, I will see you in the next episode.